Welcome again to part 3 of first term Revit tutorial for beginners. And you can find the part 1 and part 2 in description of this video. Let's go. In this part, at first we're going to learn about modify tab, more specifically about command panels. And remember, you can find the list of contents in description of this video. If you want, go directly to a specific part. At first, let's have a brief introduction about modifying tools. That's very important in Revit. And if you are familiar with AutoCAD, you can find some of these tools is the same as in AutoCAD. However, sometimes it seems it's similar, but the function is different from the AutoCAD. Command copy. You can create a duplication of one or more elements to place in another position. And the shortcut is CO. So I'm going to duplicate this object. So select object, press enter, and pick up the move start point. I'm clicking exactly in the center and position it in this center. Let's repeat the process, and you can find the snap point change depending on the place that you want to click. If you click right now, then the elements will be copied exactly in this intersection. But if you want to place it in the line of your elements, you can find that it's not snapping where exactly my pointer is right now. It's just responsible for the horizontal line, that's the highlighted, not exactly that intersection. But there is a way to change the snap point by pressing bottom tab. And sometimes you need press more than one to find this snap point. Yes, it's this one, because as you can notice, the vertical line and dash line highlighted. So click to put in there. Now let's use the command move. It's like copy, but without keeping the original objects. Select the icon and choose these two lights, and also pick up the base point and move them here in this intersection. Array command. It multiplies one or more objects in the number of times that we want. So click on the command and select the objects. Click on the center of one of the lights and move up and look at the option bars. You can choose if you want polar array or linear. In this case, I prefer linear, and let's set number at 4. And also in this section, you can see move to. If I choose second, where I click, it would be second row. And then press escape to exit the command. Rotate command. Elements can be easily rotated here in Revit. I'm going to ground floor, and let's insert different components this time. The furniture objects. I'm going to load family and search for the furniture objects and insert one of the tables that we've got here. Let's put it in this room, and to use rotation command, click on modify command rotation, this icon, and then select the objects and then press enter, and this axis indicates the start points of the rotation. I'm gonna click here and then rotate the objects in the angle that it's indicating here. For 45 degree, it snaps easily when I get close to that angle. And if I click here, it would be 45 precisely. align command that's quite useful in Revit. Let's learn how it works. For example, align X with Y. So now select the command from the modify, here this icon, and then select the line or point of the line. Here it's the center of the line. Now select the wall X and you will notice that it directly moved to align with the previous wall toward the dashed line. Now both walls are aligned. Second example, align this furniture toward the wall. You can easily drag the sofa and move it wherever you want. Also, you can put it against the wall, but it cannot be 100% with precision. So let's go with align command through this process. This selected line, the dashed line, is not what I found because at that time the sofa would be inside the wall. So we don't want sofa match the center wall. So here in option bar, you can see this choice to generate a line of alignment. In this case, we are selecting the wall face, but you notice that it doesn't work still. Don't worry, usually after changing that option for first time it doesn't work, so it's better to press escape and reactive the command. So now as you can see it works. So select it, and also in the sofa select which line would you like to align against the wall, so this one. Now before going to other command, I would like to show you a tip. Let's align these two walls and use wall face as a reference line. And did you notice this lock here? With clicking on that, you're creating an alignment constraint between these two elements. That means from now on, if you click or move one of the walls, the second wall will follow it in order to keep the constraint. Offset. Let's see how it works in Revit. Click on the command offset in the modify and look at the option bars. There is offset that shows the distance of the offset, where you can set the offset distance, offset amount that you want. Now, if you select left wall face, it's gonna offset in left side, and if you select the right wall face, it's gonna offset in the right. So with clicking, you're creating a copy of the wall at 0.5 meter from the center. And keep in mind that this distance is between the same reference of each object, not the distance between the closest faces. Now let's see more offset options. In the case that's not required to copy the objects and just move it, take the tick from the copy and apply the offset to the left. So this was numerical offset. The graphical offset in the other side is used to create a parallel wall in a specific point. So click on the object and click on the offset start point and click on the position that you want to point the wall. Now let's see some specific constraints. You can't offset two walls at the same time. You need to do them separately. In AutoCAD like polylines, that it doesn't work here. Another thing that not all objects are eligible to offset. Like in this case, walls are eligible but not furniture, not doors and windows. Mirror. With the command mirror, you can create symmetrical elements that you can select more than one element from certain axis. Let's apply this command to the sofa below. So I'm going to use this wall as a mirror axis, but as you see this log, we had created constraint against other wall to the right one. But if I click on the log, the constraint is not active anymore. So I can move it easily down, and now I'm gonna use this wall as a mirror axis for this furniture. So there is two kind of mirror command: point axis and draw axis. First, I'm going to show you the pick axis. So select the element and pick the axis, and you can notice that automatically axis generated on the elements that we have here in the center of the walls, or in the midpoint of the doors and window, or in endpoints. So select this wall as an axis, and the sofa will be copied symmetrically at the other side. And notice that distance between elements and axis is constant. Now let's see how draw axis works in mirror command. So the difference is, in this case you need to draw the axis. So select the sofa, and if I draw the axis in midpoint of this wall vertically, so the sofa will be copied against the opposite wall. And so notice that the copied sofa reversed, and they are symmetrical. Let's learn another tip. In using mirror command, after selecting the elements and pressing enter, you can decide that if you want to copy the elements or not. In options bar, with unchecked the copy, the original elements will be disappear. So you can decide that how many mirrored elements would you like to generate. So here in mirror command, I'm going to select this door and press Ctrl to add the other door to my selection, and I draw axis here, and new door will be generated at the external walls. Split elements. Let's see how it works. So for modify, click on the icon split elements. That's this icon. It says cuts an element such as walls or line at a selected point, or remove a segment between 2 points. So I'm going to a wall and selecting a place that I want to split the wall vertically from bottom to top. Suppose that I want to split this wall with 1 meter from the external wall. So then you can escape the command or select the second point to split. Notice that you cannot type the distance here, but you can change or modify it later if you are not okay with the result. So now the wall is split in 3 parts, and I can select the middle one and delete it. Let's repeat the same process because I want to show you the options bar. As you can see, if you tick in this option, delete inner segment, the segment between the next 2 points will be disappear. Now let's see how it looks like in 3D view. Also how it's splittable horizontally. As you notice here, the wall element seems a continuous one element, while it's splitted in 3 parts that you can delete it and select it each part. So let's go to modify and select the split icon again to split it horizontally. Now after finding one of the splits, I'm going to split horizontally in the distance of 2.1 meter. And the up here dash line shows the horizontal split part here in this wall. Let's have a detailed look in different examples. Before clicking, you should notice which section is highlighted. Now is the section in the left. To split the middle section, you should slightly move to the right. After splitting, you can select this part of wall down here and press delete to make passage between these two rooms. If you select the section above and go to the properties panel, you will notice the base offset is set on 2.1. If you change it in 2 meters, and don't forget to click on apply, you will notice that the wall goes down 10 centimeters. Trim extend element. The same command in AutoCAD, trim and extend command, that it's used more in walls. If you want to extend this wall through here, first click on reference and then to the wall that you want to extend. Let's extend other wall. Click on the reference here and then on the wall that you want to extend right here. But suddenly I got the message that says highlighted walls overlapped, but where we cannot see. But remember, not all the elements in a specific floor are visible in floor plan. So this happens when they are above floor levels, like ceilings or these walls above here that's visible in 3D view. And this is actually the one that's overlapped. Now another example. Let's extend these 3 walls up to the external walls. So I click in this external walls in this face as the reference and then click in this 3 walls to extend up to this face. So every time you need to click on the reference again. But if the elements number were high, it would be difficult to select all of them one by one. In this case, we have trim extend command for multiple elements. This icon next at the right. With this command, just click once at reference and then click on the elements one by one to extend towards the reference. Now let's trim walls with using the same command. So in this example, we have 3 vertical and 1 horizontal wall. So I'm going to trim these sections. I'm selecting this wall, this face as a reference, and then selecting the element, actually the section that I want to keep, that's indicated with these dash lines. And after clicking, the rest is erased. And for the rest, select again the reference and the section. But for multiple elements, it's exactly as the same as the extended walls. And this time I want to keep the segments above. Also sometimes when I want to trim, I get an warning that can't keep elements joined. It's just a warning message, so you can click on unjoin elements. There is also a command to extend or trim a corner. After clicking on the command, click on 2 walls and they will connect each other, they will extend toward their intersect point. Also in this case, if you try to extend these walls, look, you have a preview before clicking, but in this case it's not possible to erase that part as there are walls and windows at that external walls. You can also click on 2 walls that intersect to create a corner there. But why was the left side erased instead of right side? Because it keeps the side that you clicked. Okay, it's end of part 3 first term. I hope it was helpful and you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like it, subscribe and press this ring button to be updated about our new videos. And you can find part 1 and part 2's link below in the description of this video. Thank you, bye.